everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be filming my March wrap up. So I'm going to be wrapping up all the books I read in March. So first of all, I'm going to start with books that I DNF'd for one reason or another, and I'm just going to let you know why I DNF'd them. So yeah, the first book I DNF'd was How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. And I just wasn't feeling this book. I think I got like 150 pages into it and I couldn't carry on. Like, it was just doing my head in, quite frankly. I didn't care about the story, I didn't care about anything that happened, didn't care about the characters, and yeah, I was in a reading slump, didn't want to finish reading it. And I stand by that. I don't regret not finishing it. And I think if I would have carried this on, then it would have put me further into a reading slump. So yeah, DNF this one. The next book I DNF'd is Killjoy by Holly Jackson. I do know why I DNF'd this. I DNF'd this because I couldn't get into it. I don't know if it's better for you to read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder before this. But yeah, I couldn't get into this, so if somebody's read this and the first book in the series, let me know whether you feel like the first book in the series you need to read to sort of get this, because I just couldn't get into this for some reason. So now I'm going to go into the books I read that I don't have physical copies of. So I've only got one of these, and that book is Cheer Up. I'll put a picture on the screen. It's a graphic novel and it's called Cheer Up, Love and Pom-Poms. This book is being released on the 10th of August 2021. I got it and read it off NetGalley. It was really good. It had a lot of like transphobic, like it wasn't a transphobic book, but it revolved around a trans character, and we saw the struggles that the character went through, but also the happy moments, and I loved this so much. Yeah, I loved it so much, and it reminded me of my favourite graphic novel series ever, which is Heartstopper. So yeah, I hope this turns into a series, because I need to know what happens next. But yeah, I just wanted to mention this because I did really enjoy it, and yeah. Next I'm going to go into a book that I reread, and I reread this for the Buzzwordathon prompt because I DNF'd How to Stop Time, and I read this for the first time in January, and I read it again in March, yeah, last month. And it's called Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Simon Koenig. This is just such a fun little book. Like, I've read it twice now and I absolutely love it. It's really fun. I mean, I already knew what was going to happen, but it was just kind of cool to see. The ending still really annoyed me, but you know. But yeah, I do still love this. However, I gave it 4 stars last time, and I gave it that again. I stuck with it because I do think it is a 4-star book. And yeah, I'm gonna go into the books I read for like World Book Day kind of thing. So I read Planet Omar, and this was a really cute story. This is about a brother, and he's trying to get his sister's favourite author to like sign a book for her. So him and his friend travel with the help of like the dads and stuff, and go to try and find the author to get her to sign a book for his sister who is really ill. And I love this book. I love the meaning behind this book. I just really enjoyed reading it. So yeah. Also, the best friend's really adorable. Love him. So yeah, I'd 100% recommend picking this up for your kids and stuff, and yeah, I recommend it, and I'm probably going to give this to my niece now to see if she'll read it, so yeah. And I think I gave this like 3 stars. The next book I read was The River Whale by Sita Bukamari. And I didn't like this as much as I thought I was gonna do. I just feel like about this one. I think I gave it like 2 stars, 2.5 stars. I didn't enjoy this as much as the other one, but it was okay, and I'm probably just gonna like donate it to charity or something, or just give it to my niece, so yeah. And then I read Sky Steppers by Catherine Rundle, and I gave this like 3.5 stars. This was really good. I really enjoyed this. So in this book we follow an orphan boy and an orphan girl, and it's technically about them, like they live on rooftops, and that's how they get around, by like jumping through rooftops and stuff. Yeah, it was really good. It also has another book in this series called Rooftoppers, so yeah, I actually really enjoyed this book, and yeah, I can't wait to read Rooftoppers when I get around to it. The next book I picked up was We Are the Beaker Girls, which is the last book in the Tracy Beaker saga thing that Jacqueline Wilson has released, and I absolutely loved this book. It was such a good ending for Tracy. I do think I will be rereading this because I just thought it was adorable to see like how they ended up and everything. It was just so cute. And I think I gave this like 3.5 or 4. I'm not quite sure. But I really loved it. And yeah, I have fond memories of this series, and I'm gonna reread it at some point. The next book I read was Ruthless Women by Melanie Blake. And I was predicting that this book was going to be like a 5-star, but it wasn't. It was more like a 3.5 to 4-star for me. I couldn't decide what to give it. But this is a book about, it kind of reminds me of Evelyn Hugo, because it's about women in the industry of film and TV. So we're following the cast, the directors and everything of a popular TV show, soap opera called Falcon Bay, and we're following them and everything that is happening in the company. Yeah, there is some problems dealt with in this book. The men in this book, well, particularly one man in this book, he is sexist and he's not a great person, and I was praying for him to die. I was actually like, just get it, just do it, I want to. Yeah, so I love this book, and it did give me Evelyn Hugo vibes. If anyone else has read this book, let me know if you've read Evelyn Hugo as well, if you can see a difference. But I can see a difference, but I also thought this was just as good, if not, maybe Evelyn Hugo was like a tiny bit better. My favourite character in this book was Amanda, I think that's her name, yeah, Amanda King. She was my favourite woman. She was the one I liked all the way through. So yeah, really enjoyed Amanda, and yeah, this book was actually quite good. So the next book I read was Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas. I didn't enjoy this book as much as Throne of Glass, which might be a bit of a unpopular opinion, but I thought Throne of Glass was better than this. With this series, I like the characters more than I like the story. So yeah, I like Selena, love her. Kale, I don't. Kale's one of those characters where I can love him at times, but I could also hate him. So yeah, Kale for me is like middle ground, but for me, the main character in this book that I absolutely love is Dorian. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I love him so much. I want him and Selena to be together, but that might never happen. But that's what I want. And I will never stop loving Dorian. I don't think I'll ever love Kale more than Dorian. I don't see that ever happening. But I do love Dorian. Dorian's the best. And yeah, I can't tell you what happens in this story, but if you haven't read Throne of Glass, we follow Selena Sardothian, who is an assassin's apprentice, and she is given certain tasks throughout the books that I've read so far. And yeah, so they're my thoughts on that one, and I will still be reading the next one, Air of Fire, because I love the characters. I'm continuing this series because I do like the characters, and I want to see what happens with KO, because I want to see if he is a character that I'm going to like more as the series goes on, or if he's going to be a character who's just like middle ground all the way through for me. So yeah. Next book I read was Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. I love this book. I really enjoyed this book. I thought Cassandra Clare did a brilliant job with this book. The ending of this book brought me to tears. Yeah, the ending was awful, but I understand that it had to be done, but also it broke me, this book at the end, but it also made me want to continue to the next book. So yeah, so then after that one I did pick up, and I gave it 5 stars, that one. I did pick up The Queen of Her Darkness. Now this is a massive book, and I didn't love this one as much. I don't know why, but for me this book fell flat. I think too much of this book, too much was easy for the characters. Like, if you have read this book, you'll know what happens, and you'll know a certain thing happens in the book. And for me, it was just like a bit of like, oh, there's a problem, but there was like an instant way around it, which that was probably my main problem with this book. It was just that one thing that I was like, nope. I actually wouldn't have minded if the character that I'm speaking of died, because I think that would have been better than the just, oh, there's a problem, but we've instantly solved it. Like, yeah. So I did not enjoy this one as much as I did Lord of Shadows and the first book, but I still like this one, still love this one for what it is, and yeah, I do enjoy this one too. So yeah. And I think I gave this one 4 stars, whereas I gave the others 5 stars. I can't be quite sure because my head's been all over the place, but I think that's what happened. And they're the books that I read in March. I really didn't have, I have had better reading months in the past, but yeah. That's it for this video. I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.